It's been a tough year for those of us who hunger for justice. Ferguson, Missouri is now a term in the lexicon that needs no explanation. It is a heartbreak. 6 trans women of color murdered in the United States during the first 2 months of this year. A heartbreak. 3 Muslim American students killed in North Carolina. A heartbreak. In our own Pasco, Washington, a Mexican national killed for throwing rocks. A heartbreak. And on our campuses, widespread sexual assault across the country. A heartbreak. University underreporting of those sexual assaults. Another heartbreak. And then the fact that there is usually only national concern over sexual assaults when the victims are white, middle-class, young women. A heartbreak. My heart is broken. Your hearts are probably broken too. These are heart-wrenching tragedies that we read about, we think about, we worry over, and we teach about in our classrooms and in exchange with our colleagues. They all speak to the fact that we are not post-racial. We are not post-feminist. We are not post-human rights. And we are still very much stuck in the heterosexual matrix. Heartbreak. This is the national scene, but what about our classrooms? In a piece about working with pre-service teachers who move into classrooms and are then bombarded with the neoliberal logic packaged in standardized tests and curricula, teacher-educator Carrillo worries about his own complicity in all of this. He ruminates on sending young teachers into schools where they are faced with the taser-like shock of reproductive schooling. He says teaching can break your heart, and no amount of theory can seem to resolve that hollowness. Well, today, I would like to honor all of our broken hearts. When our hearts break, it opens a space for learning. The kind of learning that is rational, but also emotional, also spiritual, also grounded in our bodies. As the singer Lucinda Williams says, down there where the spirit meets the bone. The kind of learning and speaking that is often not valued in our university settings, which sit shrouded in the corporate logic, the fog that engulfs us all. There is not much heart talk allowed in our institutions, is there? How would you assess heart talk? How could it be measured in the EdTPA? What would it look like in our faculty annual reviews? I heart talked 17 times in 2014, and here is the evidence to support that. Wow. I think we must subvert the academy with heart talk whenever we have the opportunity. In our undergraduate classes, in our graduate classrooms, in our faculty meetings, in our administrative meetings, we need to intentionally articulate heart thoughts and support relationships and community endeavors inside these academic fortresses. We must attempt to foster minds and hearts at play in a context where efficiency, productivity, and hierarchy shape our ways, our very ways of being, and limit the words that we can speak, the kinds of knowledges that we can even envision. Western knowledge systems, as we all know, have dichotomized reason and emotion, denigrated the body, denigrated spirituality. And as knowledge workers, we must resist. Artists know about heart talk. That is partly why they're artists. They know where the spirit meets the bone. The German poet Heine made the argument, people who have no heart are ignorant because thoughts come not from the head, but from the heart. Artists imagine what our lives might be if we spoke from the heart to each other. Artists have always helped us rethink, reimagine, reconsider who we are and how we are in the world. Mary Weems, who's a playwright and a poet, visited our campus in Pullman this last week, and she called the heart the site of imagination. And she had this great image of here's the heart and imagination and all the arteries coursing through her body, all that imagination coursing through her body every moment that she lived. A beautiful image. She calls herself an imagination intellect theorist. I'd like to put that on my Vita. See what people do. In an interview, writer James Baldwin commented on the role of the artist. This is what he said. Now, it is true that the nature of society is to create among its citizens an illusion of safety. But it is also absolutely true that safety is always necessarily an illusion. Artists are here to disturb the peace. Most of us are not artists, at least I can speak for myself there. But we are teachers, we are writers, we are dreamers whose hearts have been broken. I believe that we can disturb the peace when we speak with our hearts to each other and with our students. I'm hoping that we can do that here in these next 2 days. We're so very fortunate to have artists driving up from Pullman for our Arts and Scholarship and Education session, which is later on this evening. Musical artists, dance artists, spoken word. We're very excited to have the WSU Museum of Art bringing some of their items from their permanent collection and sharing that with us during the next 2 days. And the 2 curators will be outside, and the art pieces, they're installing that right now. We are also incredibly fortunate to have, I think it's our first performance artist as a keynote. Yadira de la Riva was here. I saw her earlier. There she is in the back, already come in. And she will be our first keynoter today around noon. And so we're so looking forward to that. I close with some lyrics from Leonard Cohen. Old dude. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Let your heart crack and be, hopefully, in conversation about the tragedies as well as the joys in this society right now. I wish you all a very, very helpful, hopeful, insightful 2 days here. So we start at 9.